Guys, I give up. As you know, it's me, Pez Flips, and I have gone on an endeavor to try to find a reblade for this. The first one I got didn't come in the mail. It was delivered to the wrong place. That's a bummer. Then, I'm looking for a static part to complete the static rep build. And alas, I finally find somebody who's willing to part it out from another rep build. And here is the final product. Absolutely gorgeous. I don't know if you guys just heard that, but somebody just made like the most overt crying sound in the world. But there is the build. Yeah, no problems, right? Looks great. That gap, a lot more reasonable on the open. Seems a little bit more like it's supposed to. But let me show you something. Let me show you something crazy. What the flip? What the heck is going on there? It closes fine on the bite side. On the safe side, dude, it doesn't even close all the way. I'm just tired. I'm tired. I thought a full static build was going to kind of remedy that issue, but honestly, when I think about it, when I see the static builds with Chinomalous handles, they often have that. I don't remember what it's called. It's like a complex shape, I think that's what they call it, which is not this one. Now, I'm not sure what the gap is on this guy on default handles, because eventually I'm looking to get some buffness liners, or actually a full handle set for reps from the buffness himself, but that's in a matter of time. But here I am wondering, should I continue the search for a different blade, or just keep this guy as is? In terms of flippability, it's an interesting one. Obviously the thin handles are something to get used to, but kind of what you see there, the safe fan is actually amazing, like super clean, no issues there. However, if I go to the bite side, there are a couple of moments where if I catch it on the wrong time, let me see if I can get a good example. I don't know, now I feel like I can only do it right. But every once in a while, I'll get kind of like a dead fan or a weird open fan, and you only feel that on the bite handle. And I think part of that has to do with this interesting aspect of the design, which is the cutout here in the blade, because this is actually considerably thicker than I was imagining. So there's a good amount of tip weight here, but with the cutout, I mean, Chaplains are pretty good. A little, I mean, they're not like the stickiest, but they're fine. But I think the additional weight, it's like there's not necessarily more tip weight, but less weight towards the pivot area, which makes the weight at the tip feel more pronounced. I mean, I love the blade shape. And let's go to auto focus to get some close shots on this. Hello? To get some close shots on this. Dude. There we go. You can see, if you get even closer. I'm not sure if it's going to show up, but there is micro milling lines in there, which do look really good. I really love the stonewashed look on this guy. Like overall, like the grippiness of this guy is really good. Like I've seen people do anodizations on these liners, and I do think that these liners are absolutely gorgeous, but sometimes I wonder if, because it's a static product, is it kind of limited in terms of its compatibility, because it just has kind of different Zen pin locations. Like this one is fine, and I think that there is a way for me to customize this blade if I sent it in somewhere to get the cup deepened a little bit. Now my concern would be that it would hit the inside of this channel here. As you can see, I mean, there's plenty of space for it as it stands right now, and just to close it a little bit more would make it look better. The pins are quite large on this guy, the Zen pins, and I think that's intentional as a part of the design. But as it stands, it's like the default BRS blade. Well, it's actually the alt blade. You know, the gap is kind of invisible, so it causes handle slap if you catch it at the wrong angle. which is a problem, but its close is fine. But this one, it's like the gap on the open is perfect. I mean, gorgeous. This profile right here, that's a mean looking blade. Like, that is a clean build. It's simply the open. And it's just like trying to find a blade for a rep. You know, I haven't really gone down the adventure of trying to, you know, create a custom rep, but I don't know. It's not as easy. It's not as easy as I think I was led to believe. I don't think anyone single-handedly is making it out to seem like this super easy endeavor, but it's just a little bit more frustrating than I was necessarily prepared for. Sometimes I say I want like a project, and then I realize I don't want a project. I have like a limited time after work, and you know, I don't have time for all that. You know, I like to practice flipping, and that's kind of where my project goes into, is getting better rather than necessarily creating a custom build. Now, I love the way this looks because it is very unique, but it's also just a little discouraging. Sorry, my nose is so itchy. It's a little discouraging because you know, it's not just an easy, I swap the blade and it works. Now, for tolerances, yeah, this thing has had no issues whatsoever. Like, it's really bouncy. That's the one thing with static, is that they always really dial in their bushings. I can feel just the ever so minuscule amount of play. You can see right there. But a little play is honestly better for flipping than, in my opinion, a super tight tune. But all in all, this thing does sound really good. And the micro texturing from the milling on the handles actually provides a lot of grip. Now, we're not flipping with the blade, but the stonewash on the blade is actually kind of nuts for grip too. So, you know, you could say that this thing is entirely a grippy blade, or a grippy knife, all in all. But I don't know. I'm not sure if I want to keep it as is, because it is very different from my other knives. It's a lot heavier. I've been skewing towards lighter knives recently, and this one is really fun. It's just, I don't know who I would send it to fix the gap. So, you know, if you guys know of somebody that does that kind of stuff, that would be nice. And maybe Andrew Myers, when he finishes doing his Aeon batches, which, you know, I don't know how long that's going to be, because I'd also love to get him to do a reblade for the spare set of handles I have of the Gaboon, because I do have the default handles too. But all that depends on how fast they're going to get done with the Aeon, with blade show and stuff. I imagine that they're going to be taking a break. But there's not a lot of makers that do custom stuff. And now I know Frankenforge does some custom work here and there for reblades, but it does cost a pretty penny. And obviously, yes, you're doing custom work, it's going to be more expensive. That's just a given, because it is a one-of-a-kind thing. That is the price you're paying for, because it's not at scale, which is, you know, how you get cheaper products. But yeah, overall, the aesthetics are really good. The flipping is interesting. Really, my only gripe is the occasional weird fan. But if you're like prepared for it, it's not that bad. And, you know, a lot of the handle weight on this build, it's interesting because there is, honestly, I don't think it's exactly the same, but it kind of reminds me of the Totori, just like a thinner Totori. But like a lot of the weight's here and a lot of the weight's there. And what that causes is you have to put a lot of emphasis and effort into creating rotations, into flipping it. But with that, you can kind of send it, and as long as you're kind of staying in the same path, it will kind of maintain that momentum a little bit. You know, those are the differences between a light and a heavy knife. Like, I think that this thrives with a little bit of a slower flipping style, which, you know, I love. It just is going to take some concentration, a little bit more so, because it is different from my other stuff. But I have started to wonder if, you know, having a variety of balisongs is more my pace, to just have variance in my flipping, like in my collection, because having a bunch of knives that are exactly the same would then beg the question, why not just have one of them? But yeah, I have another knife probably coming in tomorrow, which I'm very excited about. One of the earliest balisongs I wanted when I got into this hobby. I think it's one of the coolest ones, and You don't see a lot of people talking about it. It's also a very light knife, which is titanium. Now, I won't tell you what it is. If you guess it in the comments, I might give you a cheeky reply as to what, if you were like onto it or not. But the other thing I have to do as well is a tutorial on how to, just poked myself. Tutorial on how to do, I can't really do it with this knife, but this one is pretty sharp, so I'm a little nervous of it. But this like tech open thing that I kind of karma farmed on Reddit saying, oh, I think I made a new trick, because I guess people on Reddit hate when you think that you've made a new trick. But I digress. I'll have to do a tutorial on that one. It's a little easier on my Ion to hit that trick, but I'll do a tutorial on that. And then I had a request for, if you follow me on Instagram at Pez Perez, I did a one like this, and I'll do a tutorial on that one too. So the plan currently is probably the unboxing tomorrow if I do get it in, and then the tutorial for the first tech open, and then the second tutorial. So I might stagger it, so I might do the tutorial first so that I can have a video between, but that is the current plan. Last thoughts. I don't know, maybe I'll end up just selling this, because I'm not sure it's worth the continuous investment. Obviously this is a super clean build, but you know, if you're interested in having it, shoot your request, just because I don't know, you know, I'm constantly thinking about downsizing, and I've been trying a lot of stuff, and this guy's super fun, but I don't know, maybe it's just the blade, because if I get the bumpness scales, maybe I just save the blade for it. But I do have my alt blade that I can swap on it, and you know, we'll see with that one. But anyways, this is my full static build, and yes, I don't apologize for the clickbait title, but anyways, it's been slightly less sick Pez, and I hope that you guys have an excellent weekend. It is approximately, let's see, I have tomorrow, Monday, Tuesday, and a half day on Wednesday. Well, full day really. So that's 4 days left of school with the kids, which means that summer break is fast approaching, guys. And that means I'll have a little bit more energy, a little bit more time to be making videos. So thank you for watching as always. It does mean a lot. You know, I'm just a random guy talking, and it's cool that people watch it. But as always, it is I keep saying that, it is an open discussion. If you have any other questions, anything you want to talk about, video ideas, please feel free to share. I like reading your comments. I try to reply to all the ones I feel like I have anything of substance to say. And the comments are what I like to check on. I think that's cool. And for those who don't comment and you just watch the videos, that's fine too. But yeah, it's been Pez Flips, and let's flip until we drop it. I need to do the scissor more. I feel like I've been kind of neglecting the scissor. Thinking about it right now, maybe maybe just like a video where I'm just open rambling and trying to freestyle would be kind of fun. So that was the scissor, didn't drop it, but I'm a little rusty with it just because I haven't done it in a while. My aerials are not the best. I don't know if I should be counting these as not going, because I haven't really been doing them, but I've been flipping a lot of the Gaboon, so everything feels kind of weird. It's kind of the Opus problem that I talked about, but I'll have a full review on that guy later. I'm going to still count this as being good. The other aerial that I think I should do more often is this one. Okay, we're going to do this.